See him here with Grayhound. It is super cool. 18 years old, first major. Maui announced it over on the desk. First time playing versus top tier EU opposition. This is our chance to see if Vexite is the real deal. And oftentimes it goes one or two ways. Either it's that, you don't really have a reason to be anxious yet. You just kind of give it all you got. You play with a confidence that's almost hard to replicate and you look lights out. Or the pressure gets to you. It's all too much. It's all too difficult. And you're not quite ready. So let's find out what form we're going to get him in. Let's get into this one. OG CT side start to open up.
Yeah, no time to think, no time to wait. The crowd is in their ears every step of the way. They may not be on the stage, but it feels like it. I can tell you that much. That arena is going absolutely ham. Vexite at the front of the pack on Banana goes for a quick pick, but he won't find anything with a P250. A slow start for Grayhound, who don't want to bungle this T-side pistol and come on to a strong start. It's a solo B setup. Not even a setup, just one man giving it up. Fiku at the back of Coffins. He has a flash for the retake or for the reface if he wants. Grayhound are going to run this execute. They've got two smokes, a molly for quad, you would presume, and then they're going to pop in. This is going to be a retake for OG with no kit.
Smokes go in, execs here. Fiku with a bit of spam, hoping. That was actually pretty close. But thankfully, everyone's made it through for Grayhound. Now, off to the races here as 4 for OG. Moving in through the back line. Sicko's overran, overwhelmed. Liaz trying to hold on, but he can't find his footing. Flames has dealt with him. Leading at the front, he's finally dispatched off Vexite. It's a clean opener. Ooh, and another. Maybe he is the real deal after all. 2 in the round, and they don't know about Alistair. Right now, Vexite is the only one they know about. Alistair tries to play it late, and Nexus got his name, number, and address. He's going to lock that one out. And OG find the pistol.
Get doxed. Yeah, that's those are some sharp shoots from the side of OG, right? Flames that double pick up Banana, and Nexus just holds strong on his angle. Those were lovely. And all this plays into the inconsistency, those questions on the desk. I think that was a really good segment, just talking about how maybe there is a way in for Grayhound. Maybe they can take their first victory at a major. The Aussies going through something that the Asian scene went through for such a long time. Yeah, winning their qualification, getting to events, but then doing nothing on the big stages up against the best in the world. So this would be a really cool time to see that turned around. But OG are doing everything in their power at their first major to flip the script and to keep your pick'ems healthy. Fast up B, through the smoke, through the molly, no care in the world. But Fiku re-aggresses with a flash and drops the bomb. Even seasons and mollied out as well. It won't get much better. Burnt and shot upon. The bomb's been lost.
Oh. They're going to try and boost up and over, but Flames is already on the angle, man. There's 4 players here for OG. They're fighting you every step of the way. Bomb drop. They're in full control. I know about this second player, know about the second man. Liaz been able to grab the Galil or his fallen teammate in Alistair, but is now trapped in a corner. Sicko, meanwhile, all the way over in the apartments. They're worlds apart right now. They might have to regroup here and look to play the trade game over at Banana.
Yeah, I mean, this was the big piece, right? Like, this is when Grayhound, obviously under Renegades earlier in the year, got really interesting when they added Liaz into this roster. It was the Katowice play-in where we covered them, his debut event on international soil as well with this roster. And yeah, Liaz was performing really well there, but the team wasn't able to get really anything done at that event. And this round will be no different either. Just the aforementioned man, Liaz, waiting, and they will not give him any breathing room. But to go back and talk about that, like, we spoke to Liaz a bit there in interviews, and he was talking about how the team wasn't ready. There were things to fix up, and him obviously having a wealth of experience in comparison to his teammates, coming in to try and make things ship-shape. Well, they've had time now, right? And they've got another firepower piece in Vex added to this roster. So I think this is, while Grayhound are the majority 0-3 pick for pretty much everyone, I still think they could certainly upset that one. Maybe not in this game. Not if OG come in sharp. And that much you'd hope. Maybe some tech issues, but also maybe not. It's only a Glock round, so nothing really to lose in this. Just get everything fixed. Should be a nice, quick and clean round for OG. We're seeing an A4 from Dexter, a rarity in the current meta, more expensive. And the lack of the silencer never is fun, but you got bullets for days. Nexa, a high fragging in-game leader. I think that's a conversation in and of itself, Harry. The in-game leader that maybe G2 didn't deserve was with them all the way to a major final. It's worth noting that both G2's ex-in-game leaders are here at the major in Alexi B and Nip, in Nexa and OG. G2, sad to say, are left to the wayside.
I mean, hell, man, even a lot of the Flames are here if you want to kind of
All
have
of
it.
them.
Yeah, all the Flames are
Except
here
Tuxi.
if you want to have it go the other way, right?
Yeah.
Except Tuxi. But so, yeah, man. But, hey, man, it's nice to see Nexa looking good out of the gate. As you say, always been someone who can put up these numbers, always been someone who can, you know, win your rounds on the back of his brag and prowess. Also, you know, I hope if we do get a chance to speak to Dex, to learn a little bit about the A4 choice here. As you say, very unconventional.
It could be map to map as well, right? Like, even though Inferno's a good smoke spam map, also getting sprays down middle or down banana could certainly be tempting. But yeah, we'll see throughout the tournament if that one remains to be true. Right now, Vex is locked out of the banana by this deep utility from OG. They got mollies, they got smokes, they got it all. Silent boost up into Abs as well. Grayhound start to make a move. AWP on Alistair early in this map, but no one facing will make this very difficult to get going until you're in a post plant with this AWP. God, right on the edge of the smoke. Vex can't find that kill. Liaz does get the pick on A, and they know Fiku's trapped in the corner. Vex side, that's messy. Fiku gets out with a run and gun, spraying on the SMG, and he has support from the top of B. Oh.
Nice shot for Inns, able to react onto Fiku. Flames in the meantime as well with his Galil. Puts it to work on the arch side. The bomb all the way down towards T-Ramp. Liaz has a pretty lengthy journey ahead of him before he can try and win this round. But first, going to go looking for this fight at Arch and doesn't get any further than that. Flames gets it through to the very end. It's him and Fiku doing it all as OG are up 4-0 now.
Yeah, damn good start for Flames. 9-1. Got those first 2 picks on pistol as well.
I'm just going to say, you know, I think Vexite did look a little shaky in that one fight there.
For sure.
Something to keep an eye on. And I think this is where, you know, we kind of need the other Grayhound guys just to keep their eye on him as well, right? See if at any moment feels like the pressure maybe is getting to him. See if he feels like he's out of his depth, you know, just to keep him calm. You got to remember, first time in this position, 18 years old versus top European opposition. Certainly easier said than done.
Oh, they did get through the smoke though. Neofrag doesn't want to waste all of his ammo because Inns could pop right through and pop ahead. He'll sneak in. OG have already abandoned the top of B as they send off a rotation. Dexter will leave this location. Neofrag with a Molotov, and that will allow him to throw a deep nade, and that can do a lot of damage. Vex will eat a bit of it, double in fact. Just backs out from the second one. OG still have a hell of a lot of utility, right? 3 smokes still allowed in this round. And Grayhound with not a lot to play with themselves. Won't be able to flash anyone off an angle in this B bomb site. Fiku's got a nice position to maul these pistols as they come around the corner. Open sight lines as Neofrag. That's a Molotov, but is it meant to be a flash? You often throw a flash like that into pool, but it looks like he's just trying to burn it out. Let's see what happens here. Okay, he's going to re-aim it right back into the top of Banana as they push.
Yeah, that's going to divide the push. 2 players get ahead of the molly, trying to run down these site players, and Vexite in with a double opener on the Tech 9. Pistols are this guy's weapon of choice. And now with the plant found, a 5 versus 3, that nade. Oh, only a bit of chip damage onto Sicko.
We've got a crash.
Dexter's out of the round.
Yeah, he was having problems right before this game. His PC crashed, he said, 9 times right before the matchup, and so it's happened again in a live round. Very unfortunate. I'd imagine the round still counts as live because damage was already done very early down Banana, so I think he's going to lose this AWP. I think, honestly, the play here is Flame should kill Dexter and take his AWP. That might be the best move. He's just going to wait for him to die. And yeah, quick trade back, but he's got to fight for his life, and he's out of ammo. Very cooked round for OG, but ultimately, Harry, it still looked like it was going to be Greyhounds nonetheless. They got that double entry into the B-bomb site, and OG were in a very precarious retake. They will save the AWP at a bare minimum. It could have gone a whole lot worse, but lovely shooting. Can't take it away from Vexite, who gets that double Tech 9 tap into the B site. We're certainly going to be here with a tech pause and maybe even a PC swap if this keeps happening. Not what you want.
No, not what you want, but I do think, you know, if Dexter's kind of showing us one thing, especially from Antwerp, it's it's that this guy can very much roll with the punches. He's got a good head on his shoulders, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's going to take a lot to fluster him. I think it's going to take more than that. But yeah, frustration will set in. That does tend to happen with these little tech issues cropping up. We'll wait to get that sorted out. Grayhound on the board.
Gotta say, love the Grayhound jerseys. Always were great.
They've always
back in the
been,
day,
yeah.
I think back to Berlin, Harry. I think back to Dick Stacy and the boys, and some of the flowery, summery shirts that they whipped out there. Nice to see the Grayhound org back in business.
Hashtag dreaming of Dick Stacy.
Yeah, every night. But that is a roughie for OG, certainly, as they've got to sit through this without communicating either. No one can talk in these tech timeouts. Just got to breathe through it and stare at those RGB keyboards. King efficient. And an efficient start for Grayhound. Getting an eco win on the board is a lovely sign. It's going to double their money. And hopefully we have Alistair back on the AWP as well.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I tell you what, like, I think this Grayhound squad gets very, very enticing if you know, the kind of prophecy of Excite is to be believed. You know, if he does end up becoming one of these big, you know, household names of Aussie CS eventually, as a lot of his peers have kind of shouted him out for in the conversations I've had with them, this like tag team of him and Liaz, I think could be really, really promising, right? Because you kind of have like Liaz as someone who was in Vexite's position not too long ago. You know, now one of the more seasoned veterans of Aussie Counter-Strike is Liaz. And so I think, you know, it would really be like the real deal to have two heavy hitters, have that kind of back and forth on the firepower. Something that has been lacking in the past for Grayhound.
Especially when we're in what feels like a changing of the guard when it comes to the Asia-Pacific region, right? Like for so long it was Tyloo and Renegades, the lock-ins, making every single major. Obviously this still is the Renegades core from earlier in the year, but Tyloo no longer even able to make it to the major, or even the RMR for that fact. It was Rare Atom who were the Chinese team in the competition. Didn't do too well though, did they? And of course the rise of Mongolian CS, which of course if you're a fan of that, we will see IHC on this B stream later on next game take on Evil Geniuses. That's a spicy game. We'll go into it more in depth and later, but I think that's it's a really interesting time in that entire region, right? Which is, it has so much talent, but we haven't uncovered all of it, and they don't necessarily get the opportunities. And these guys, you know, they fly 25 hours to play a couple of tier 3s, and then they go home for 6 months.
I was going to say that, you know, like NA obviously takes a lot of attention when people are talking about like wounded regions, but you kind of end up, you know, a lot of people just completely skip over the Asia Pacific region altogether, you know, and it's like these guys, if anything, have less funding, less opportunities, and are further to go whenever they do make the trip over. It's like everything does kind of feel stacked against them. So yeah, you know, these are very much the faces of a scene that was wounded thanks to COVID, you know, that was really put on the back foot, like when traveling was shut down. It was already kind of starved of attention anyway, and it only got worse as we got, you know, restricted into, you know, little boxes almost.
Yeah, even so, just, you know, one of the big conversations when that with teams struggling in these isolated regions is like practice partners, right? And that gets even worse when you go to Australia, right? Even in Asia, there's a huge ping disparity. You know, so many Mongolians, we'll talk about this more later, but, you know, are going over to places like Turkey to boot camp in Europe, and that's been a common theme. But even for Aussies, right? Like if you're East Coast, you're screwed. You can't even, you know, touch the Asian region. Really, you got to go over to Perth to even get an accessible ping to play on Southeast Asian servers. So it really has been rough for teams like Grayhound in getting practice and getting time. But hey, here in Brazil, they've got a bit more opportunity to get some warm up, get some prac. I saw them playing FaZe. I think it was in a prac in a video I think Inns put on Twitter. So yeah, it's an exciting time certainly. But hey, Harry, this ain't the only game going down right now in Rio.
Yeah, over on the mainstream, we got 0-0 Nation versus the Bad News Eagles, and it's looking good for the Bad News Eagles right now. 0-0 Nation having a bit of a rough go at it. Kind of sad. I'd put a lot on this idea, you know, the crowd buff coming in. I thought we were going to have them look lights out, but sometimes with that comes a fair bit of pressure, and you know, this is really an environment where it feels like if you mess up, the crowd feels like they've messed up as well, you know. So it's a very, very
Harry, it's midday on a Monday.
Atmosphere.
It's midday on a Monday, and the arena is full. It's crazy. We're not even into the playoffs, right? This is just a few thousand seats, and Brazil has shown up in a big way today, so we got to respect them for that. Yeah, but to build on that Brazilian point, being in the crowd, sure. In one essence, crowd buff. You've got your countrymen screaming behind you. You've got that motivation.
Yeah, but also you don't want to let them down.
Exactly.
Right?
And with every round you lose, especially if you're in a game where things are really falling apart, the crowd's a little more quiet. That's a lie. The crowd's never quiet here. But the pressure really does amount very quickly, and you can feel like you're letting yourself and your country down, and that's not a good feeling. You don't want to be in your head in these kind of matchups, but BNE definitely a worthy opponent.
Yeah, no, I mean 100%. You know, I think the other thing that's like a little rough there is like for 0-0 Nation, you have a fair few young guns here, right, around them, around the solidified like legends of Brazilian Counter-Strike who have been in positions like this before. Even speaking to the Taco when we arrived, you know, he said like they're really looking forward to it. They're really apprehensive. They feel dialed in. But you know, when we kind of got to speaking about the crowd, he's like, yeah, I really hope it does pump us up. The guys will think it's going to pump them up, but at the same time, you know, you don't know till you're there on the day. So, you know, a lot to take into consideration in this one. And Bad News Eagles, hell man, fierce competition to go up against. Sounded like it was going to be a banging matchup, and by the looks of it, it is.
Yeah, still time. Not over yet. But, of course, still waiting on Dexter to get a bit of a reset, get a new PC perhaps, and hopefully all will go well as we get back into this game. This is a painful feeling, though, 5 rounds into a matchup to be on a pause like this. No one's talking, everyone wants to be playing, everyone's been warming up, the caffeine's wearing off now. None of this is helping anyone, Harry.
No, I mean, you know, I'm just going to kind of go back to this idea that I've really been sold on Vexite without ever having watched him play. You know, and if you want to know who are his supporters, when I kind of say I've been speaking to like Aussie Counter-Strike folks, I'm talking like Savage, Ben the Legend, and the likes.
Ben the
you
Legend.
know, exactly. Those two in particular, there's like history between those guys in terms of, you know, being friends, getting picked up over one another, you know, that kind of like friendly competition that occurs. It's always very, very sweet to hear, especially from, you know, like a region, as we say, that is kind of underrepresented on the world stage.
Yeah, certainly has the players, right? We've seen Aussies even make top 4 majors gone by. Shadak Assad one time, but you know, we're still waiting on that return. And the big question that was drawn by the analyst desk is: will this be that event? Will this be that major where Grayhound can actually put a notch on the board, win a BO1? The core and the Aussies that have never even won a match on a major stage, that hurts. And certainly a scary team to go up against, even despite their inconsistencies. When OG are on it, man, they are on it. I think let's change the conversation to OG as well, because I think this is such an interesting team to talk about, considering they came off of the back of the Antwerp major, having not even qualified, couldn't make it there, and then they made big changes, right? Valde and Nico out, and then bringing in what is not traditionally regarded as an upgrade, right? They went seeking afar. There were so many open players around, but they went digging down below, and I think that actually did them a lot of benefit. Neofrag, a big name back in Sinners, and was drawing a lot of attention. This guy's a real talent, and Fiku as well, a lot more of an unknown quantity. We're talking young players like Vexite. Fiku has to be in that conversation. This guy is extremely inexperienced compared to the majority of his teammates, and he's actually, you know, looks really solid in this team. So it's not the traditional pickups, but the results actually have been very good. Like I said, winning BO3s over FaZe this year, that's not easy.
100%. I mean, you know, the consistency still not quite found across the board, but yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you in a very big way, Hugo. I think, you know, on top of that as well, one of the nice things about the changes here was, first, you know, you were very opportunistic in grabbing Dexter, someone who was a star of the Antwerp major.
Yeah, that's not an easy grab.
And so, you know, you lock him in, and I think at that point, yeah, you kind of do just commit to like completely restructuring almost the culture within this team. You know, you had guys who had kind of been in the squad virtually since inception, you know, since the start, milling around, and so I think it was almost maybe nice for Nexter as like an in-game leader to have that restructuring, right? Have that like change in culture, have new hungry faces who are buying into your game plan, you know, and I think they've certainly looked better for it. You know, OG's, OG's kind of relationship with Majors has been a very sour one since the inception of this team, right? Made late 2019. If you remember what happened coming into 2020, you'll know that Majors took a bit of a backseat. In fact, everything did. So, you know, they had a long wait to even get to try and play for the Majors. And then they've fallen short every time they've attempted to qualify so far. This is finally them, you know, getting to the level we kind of hold them to, really.
And it is an exciting time as well, right? Like, definitely new generation talent in this team. I think even looking to someone like Flames, who started off this game rip-roaring, if you did miss those first few rounds, he was 9-1 to begin this map. And, you know, in the last few years, Harry, think about the amount of Israeli talent we've seen come through the likes, especially looking to you know, teams like Endpoint that have been farming up some incredible players and selling them off ashore. Players like Nerds, players like Flames, and of course even Spinks, not through the Endpoint side, but now in Vitality. There's a wealth of talent out there, and there's more. I mean, we're at a point where you could even, not that this would happen right now, but you could even make like an Israeli team that could be in the top 20 for sure, or maybe even peak higher. Like throw in Analkez as an AWPer as well. There's some really good Israeli players at the moment, and that's something we haven't seen for a long time. If we're talking about underdeveloped regions, like even the ping to Europe has been a problem for that whole region, for Israel and for Turkey as well, right? Thinking about players like Woxic back in the day who are making FPL happen with very high ping. That's something Flames has had to go through himself, and he looks all the better for it. Very, very potent player on this OG team. I'm a big fan.
Well, we've also got, potent players. Persistent problems seems to be the aim of the game here, right? It looks like there's like monitor problems now as well for Dexter, so they're swapping all that out. But in the meantime, we won't just keep berating you. We'll throw this one over to a quick video.
Oh. Yeah. Alright, easy.
I need a jump throw.
No,
Oh,
there's
I
no
need a
jump
jump
throw. I don't need it, bro. I got it.
Oh,
Nice, very close.
I
To
don't
time
play
now.
this side, bro.
He pressed the jump through mine. Oh, that's going. That's going.
Ah, no. I'll go.
Oh my
Step out,
god.
jump.
I think that's going. Where's the camera? Here. Oh, there we go.
This one is easy.
Okay, perfect.
Bora.
Moto.
Oh.
Maybe I should aim a little to the left. What the hell?
Coffins. Coffins.
Alright, easy.
Really safe?
What the fuck, say? What the fuck are you doing?
Really? Oh no.
I gotta block this one. Can I block enemy? Fair.
No. Boost.
Yeah.
Boost.
No boost for you, bro.
Oh man.
No, to the right. No, that's terrible. Can I just smoke both here? We can just smoke both here, right?
Just the regular one.
Oh, that's a shit smoke, but you got it. Okay, 20 points, I'll take it.
Easy. You won.
I won? I am third
Yeah.
player?
Yeah.
Hell, easy, bro.
of that true blueness, exclusive. I call that the Trap Call Quest, featuring Q-Tip. I do this, coming out the wazoo with newness, shocking these con artists with the ruthless. Pioneers laid the foundation with the blueprint. All you gotta do is what you feel, ain't no rules to this dish. We hostile, so when you see smoke coming out my nostrils, I'm about to breathe fire through my tonsils. Dock you, your opinions are not the gospel. If you ain't holding the door open, then you an obstacle. Baby Bam spitting out the wop bobbaloo. Without a DJ, none of these jams will be possible. I walk tall, carry a big staff, and when I go back to the home of hip hop, they call me Af. You don't see me where I'm at in the lab, with memories on my mind that never could be gentrified. You get down. Seen rock fights turn into gunfights, but now we rock mics. I used to roll dice, but now my flow's tight. I got some cold rights to hold me down till my dough's right. Back on the road, I tell myself this is your life, your life, your life, your life. Whether I'm at the bottom or top billing, I still got a ghost face, kill it. Don't catch feelings, as long as my milk is chillin'. If not, then bam, make 'em run DMC, cause you be illin'. Real talk, I got so much funky ish inside my brain. Black thought, how many years these brothers been up in the game? Support, just drop the beat and quest level, make it bang. Report, the JB's gotta go against the grain. Ain't no play-ish, we on some payday-ish. Before that Mayday hit, I dropped the mixtape quick. Before that due date hit, put on the boot camp click. Jump on my iron horse and feed it heyday quick. I'm still the Sonic on stage with the hip-hop band. I'm on the world tour with Muhammad, my man. Jungle, it ain't a puzzle. I make the track bounce when I bubble. Get down, get down.
Seconds are forced off, and there's no kit. He checks it again. And one health is all the difference. Alex is going to do it, and he's dead.
Oh, man! Frozen! Oh, my God! Mows them down on Rum. That is crisp, man!
Turns it nicely. He's playing on the swing, and Dexter is handling business. 4 from Dexter. It could be 5. That is sensational.
He notices a player trying to pull his attention away, and he goes into the no-scope at middle. Simple gets it done. The human highlight continues.
They have to run him down. Simple's posted twist. You've got no hope. No! No, turns around, Perfecto gone, they're all there! Rocky shatters Na'Vi in 1 magazine! That is nuts! And lethal stick, Torji jumping down! Torji! What is that?
They're both down on the bomb side. One good kill. OC picks up one more. No, you must be kidding me! Unbelievable triple.
Hey, Future Pros.
Today I'm traveling to the wonderful world of Sirocco to teach you all how to use the mobility package to its fullest potential in Danger Zone. Yes, Danger Zone is still a thing, and yes, people still play it. You may remember me as the guy who died to the Danger Zone back at Katowice 2019.
This is worse than Summit. Rush. This is just, that is... What a blunder!
But I've come a long way since then, and I've also learned some fancy tricks with the mobility package I want to pass on to you all. The mobility package is a purchasable item that you can buy from your tablet at any point as long as you have the cash. The package costs $1,000 and contains an exosuit, parachute, and 3 bump mines. Let's go into all 3 items, starting with the exosuit. When you pick up the exosuit, it will attach to your legs and give you more movement options. If you hold space, you will jump at least twice as high as without it. Pressing crouch and jump at the same time will launch you forward and allow you to cover more distance with a bit extra speed. The exosuit also affects fall damage. You take around 40% less damage with the exo equipped than you would do otherwise. If you find yourself falling from a high area and land on an enemy player, you will transfer some of the fall damage to the player and also mitigate some damage from yourself. The height you fall from correlates to the damage you can do. You like the view? It is possible to kill a full HP player if you fall from high enough. I like to call this a Goomba. The second item in the package is a parachute. This does exactly what you think it would. However, I highly recommend not using the parachute. There are tricks to avoid some fall damage without it, and there's nothing worse than hitting a perfect jump only for your parachute to deploy, giving your enemy the easiest kill of their lives. Last but not least is the bump mines. This is where the fun begins. You will receive 3 of these in the package. Bump mines are a throwable object that stick to any surface and launch you into the air. When thrown, they take a small amount of time to activate, which will help you position yourself correctly over them. Your position over the bump mine heavily correlates to where you'll be propelled. Standing directly over the mine will launch you straight up into the air. If you stand in front of the mine, it will launch you forward, but with less height. When using a bump mine, try to always have your knife or your fist out. This will give you the most distance compared to having a weapon out. Now you understand what each item does, let's start combining them. When using the bump mines with the exosuit, holding space will give you an extra boost to your bump launch. This is also the case with the crouch jump too. Crouch jumping with your fists or knife out will give you the most distance from your bump mine. And that is how to bump. Now you have bumping down, let's talk about mitigating fall damage. The easiest way is to jump from a lower position to a higher one. Landing in water will also negate any fall damage you might take. On the advanced side, depending on your speed and trajectory, you can actually surf on slanted ground, which will cause you to take no fall damage. This is hard to do, so I suggest practicing this offline. If you start getting good at surfing, you can do ungodly things. For example, placing a bump mine at your surf spot ahead of time to allow you to cover practically the whole map. I enlisted the help of Sid and Cobra, a legendary duo in the Danger Zone scene, to show you this triple bump on Blackside. You can find their info below. I hope this helped you all, and I look forward to seeing you in the skies of Danger Zone.
Nice. Not so nice. It was kinda nice. Someone clipped that maybe?
Katowice! We are back! 3 years since we were here in this, what I think is the beating heart of all esports, and man, what name is going to be scratched on this by the time we get to Sunday? Well, that journey, my friends, starts now.
And James just looks to lock it in. The quick scope into Hunter. A frag onto the feet of Nico. Modesty close proximity, but it's ended. 2v5 between Alexi and Modesty. Alexi alleviates a little bit of pressure from G2. A 2 versus 5 turned into the 2v2. Oh, no way! It's only Flit left over. Oh, what? That is ridiculous! It's G2 just going to the fight. They're gonna end it here and now. And G2 in Katowice defeat VP.
Everyone has been waiting for today, from quarantine to quarterfinals. It's FaZe Clan taking on Gambit. There's the shot. Robs has found 2. This is a 1-on-4. Oh no! And Robs might just knock them all down.
A 1v4 that Rops is looking to get over the line to take this map away from Gambit. Axel up through the window. Rops has heard something. Rops knows. Oh, there's the closer. Rops, what a way to lock in Dust 2. Rops ain't playing around. Gambit, this is very slow. This is very labored. This is wasting a lot of time. And Brokey's on for the ace. 4 out of 5 ain't bad. But there's the 5th. And they go hunting. They look to send a message. Everybody falls. Gambit, their journey ends here. But this FaZe squad, oh, it's just beginning.
It's been 3 years and we are back. Simple is synonymous with Spodek, but today he goes against a young talent that could shut him down.
Here we go, Simple. Run boost. Oh, baby, he wants to get aggressive. He's got it.
Absolutely what you'd expect to see from Simple on this stage. This is still dangerous. This is Navi again going toward a stack, and it's been completely removed. Absolutely obliterated.
How much does Modesty want to dedicate his life to this bomb site? On Catwalk, finds the timing. 8 seconds. If he can drop the bomb, it'd be everything. But it travels into the site. 1-on-2 for Modesty now.
It's sacrificial. Gives his position away. He wants Modesty's aim gone. What this man? Oh, the Shepherd staff takes down the GOAT. It's all on to Boomich. 1 versus 2. Big man's got moves. Boomich has clutched one back already in this game. Starts it off well. Nico's the one that killed Simple. Surely he has to be aware that he was up toward the position, and he certainly is. Calm, composed, and Boomich will make it 12-12. Nico has to reload. Simple's got an AK pick. No! It's the headshot instead! And Navi removed, erased, and it's G2O has now find their way toward the final.
By the end of today, we'll be sending one of these teams to the grand finals. Whether you're a FaZe fan, a Heroic fan, we're all fans of the beautiful game that is Counter-Strike. He's already on the scene. This guy doesn't like to hang around. He wants to play into it here and now. And there's the first. Oh, swinging out. He's seen another. Brokey. This isn't even a clutch, but he's doing it all alone. Incredible.
Brokey needs to capitalize. He needs them all, and they're collapsing upon him. They don't clear the corner. Brokey lines up a double. And 5. This might be the end of the Danes on the big stage.
Another clutch to close it, and this time it sends them to the grand finals. we bring out two teams. Two teams that have never won here. Two players leading them who have never won here. They've tasted disappointment on this stage. Today, that changes.
FaZe does just enough to stay alive. 7 more in a row for FaZe to force overtime. Fast pace towards Banana. The play has been called. Hunter's going to turn that corner. JKS has got him. Huddled behind. Another flashbang from Kerrigan. The utility starting to be impactful. JKS starting to be impactful. 1 round left. Is in a huge amount of trouble. He's going to try and take matters into his own hands. But Jax, he drops in. Oh, talk about a custodian. Oh, talk about a superstar. Talk about the elite. Rops is on a rope. It's over. As FaZe somehow turn this back. G2, they're going to find a way to reset, and it's going to be the hardest reset of their careers. Twist trying to use the gap to see through, spots him, sees him, easy find of the kill, looks down, Hunter, not looking the right way, and Twist has both. Monacy comes straight back into the picture, and it's Kerrigan that has to hold it, he can't. Monacy's got overtime, how are we doing this again? How are we going the distance once more? Hunter and Monacy, it's them against the world. Hunter flashes in his favor. He's got 3. Oh my, he's absolutely hunting all the prey today. And it rocks, gets shut out by Monacy in the end. JKS. Could the stand-in win map 2 for them? Monacy back in the corner. And this is absolutely doable now. Quick tap, falls off, and he falls the wrong way, so as not to be spotted. Alexi B just waits it out, but JKS has it. Does he have the time, though? It's going to be so close. FaZe have won map 2, and they'll go up 2-0 in this series. That is unbelievable. The standard. What can this man not do for FaZe? Catwalk, there's no other options for G2. Oh, they lined up. That's going to drop them down. It's all on Hunter. FaZe, finally. Kerrigan gets redemption. They've lost twice on this stage, 2017, 2018. The king of Counter-Strike, the man who led FaZe. Chances taken by so many players, so many gambles on this team, but it's finally paid off. The Intel Extreme Masters, Katowice champions, FaZe Clan in 2022.
What is going on, gamers? Welcome back to the desk. Look, sorry about this, but these things can happen, especially at events of this scale. So basically, just one of the PCs, I'm not sure which teams it is, whether it's Greyhounds or OGs. It's OG's PC. I've just had that clarified to me. Oh, was that you?
Yeah, well, it's Dexter's. It's Dexter's PC.
No, it's in. I thought you were my producer speaking in my ear, and so I said, "Oh, it's just been clarified to me." But no, thank you, Mary, for the assist. Yeah, and so it's currently being looked into. Our tech team working hard on it, and we'll fix it as soon as possible. For now, though, we've hopped back onto the desk. Myself and Maui and Blair, we did a big fill at ESL Pro League Season 16. We had a blast with that. We created some entertaining moments. It's nice to have Alan here, and so hopefully we can keep you guys engaged and enjoying yourselves whilst we fix this issue. Maui, Alan, what have you guys been up to whilst this match has been paused? Myself, you know, I took a little stroll around. I enjoy the atmosphere of the arena. What about you guys?
I think we've just been watching the other game, actually. There was Bad News Eagles. There was that game with 0-0 Nation. I mean, this is a game. This is like a tournament where we're trying to watch everything we can.
It's true. All right, you've come at me with the super serious response. I was hoping you were going to say you were sitting outside reading a book under a palm tree or something.
I was doing that.
If anybody hasn't seen, right, on Twitter, we've currently got a mini game trending, which is, let's get it trending, hashtag spotting the Maui. So Maui likes to post up, read books, usually topless, and if you see him doing it, snap a picture with hashtag spotting the Maui, all right? And Alan, what did you get up to during our tech
I was following Maui around, trying to get a good picture of him topless for my personal collection.
Oh, okay.
Right. You have a personal collection?
What do you do with that personal collection, Alan?
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
We can't talk about that on there.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well.
But guys, since we have like an indefinite period of time now, maybe we can delve into things a bit more about what it's like to be here in Brazil. Me personally, I've not even come to this country for a holiday. I've always wanted to. I've been involved in martial arts all my life, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, etc. The food, the culture. It's nice to be involved in it in person. I'm having a blast so far. Have you guys been up to anything interesting, BTS, behind the scenes?
Well, Alan and I actually went to the Christ the Redeemer statue the other day. So we were able to get a nice view of the city, great panorama. You can see pretty much like the bay, you can see the ocean, you can see across the bay to that other city that's part of Greater Rio, but it's not technically Rio. I forget the name of it, but either way, I mean, the city is beautiful. Like hands down, one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been in. And I was kind of saying earlier, it's kind of like Miami crossed with SF. It's basically like all the views of that, but it's like the views of Miami, but the density of a more major metropolitan area.
I also don't think I've seen a city before that has so many distinct districts. Normally in a big metropolitan, particularly in Northern Europe or America, it's the middle is skyscrapers and it goes out to suburbs. Here, you get blocks and blocks of different stuff. It's very vibrant, and I don't think I've ever been anywhere like this. It's truly incredible.
You know, somewhere that I've never been actually not even a place I've never been is actually Christ the Redeemer. I think I missed the invite on that one, guys.
I mean, we're at breakfast and we're like, let's just do it. So
I'm pulling your leg, Mal. Yeah, when I found out these guys were over there seeing the sights and I was at the hotel eating my breakfast, wide awake, by the way, and available, me and my partner who's here. No, these guys didn't care to send me an invite. Perhaps on the next journey out, I'll get an invite, Alan?
I don't know. We just sort of have enough of you on the desk, Parler.
Yeah, it's maybe just enough. Yeah.
we get our fill of Parler on the desk, and when we come off broadcast, we don't want to see you.
Yeah. One of the great things as well about going to, yeah, I'm just going to
carry on.
Go over the top of that one. But no, one of the great things about, esports is that we get to play our events out, especially in Counter-Strike, in so many interesting locations. It kind of takes us across the world. Brazil, this is a storied country and culture for Counter-Strike. These guys, these people of Brazil have been playing this game since the very beginning, and they have such a passionate fan base. Maui, I know you hate it, but I want to talk about the people next door, the audience. They've been going crazy.
I don't hate it. Why would I hate talking about fans?
No.
Without fans, what are we here for?
I did not say that. No, it's just because I keep talking about it. It's just, I can't believe... What's the time now? 1 p.m. We started at like 11. It was already raucous over there. Like,
yes.
How do they have this passion so early?
Well,
I can't expect that. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
Yeah, I mean, it really goes back to just I'd say the early MIBR days where that kicked things off. I think the most known name there. I mean, it's kind of a flip between Bit and Kogu. I think those were kind of guys that were really the ones responsible for making the scene what it is today. But then Fallen was kind of the resurgence, coming in with the whole, I guess, the Keydstars team, right? Yeah, or the...
Yeah,
it was Keydstars.
Kaboom, then Keydstars, then Luminosity.
Yeah, exactly, and that really put them on the map, because it's one thing for a team to have a roster that makes it into a tournament of this caliber, like say like a Bad News Eagles. Like you're not really going to talk about that area, like everybody just jumping in, being like, yeah, they got one team in there. It's when you actually win something, when you win repeatedly, then you start to actually build that fan base, and that's. Some people might say bandwagon, but that's just how things go in sports. You have to win a couple times, you build out a little bit of a dynasty, and then it gives everybody so much to grab onto, and everybody's there for the ride. And you can see this fan base here, they're still roaring.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any region blossom quite like Brazil, and I guess South America as a collective has. And I think the interesting angle to take is that we've got some other regions playing in this tournament who in 10 years, I mean, IHC, potentially Mongolia, there's a massive untapped audience in Asia that potentially could, you know, if they have a couple good series, you start building momentum. And that was the position Brazil was in 10 years ago. And then as Maui's mentioning, the team that became Luminosity and SK, they were Genesis, essentially, of what we see now today.
Just to add some more context to how passionate this Brazilian fan base is and how much of a pleasure it is to be just in the midst of it. So I'm backstage whilst one of our games is going on, one of the A-Stream games is going on, and the crowd are going wild. And I'm like, oh my God, 9Z must be absolutely laying it on to Gamer Legion right now. I need to go and see this. So I walk off round here to the stage, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're losing 5-0. Yeah, it's like the crowd is still cheering for anything the Brazilian teams do. One deagle kill, an AWP kill, it could be like not even an impact frag, but these guys go crazy. On top of that, it's almost like constant applause and noise. I'm not sure if you guys are picking up from our mics, but yeah, just if a Brazilian team are playing, the fans are just constantly getting loud, and I've not seen that in another country. Me growing up in London, the UK, you know, yeah, football chants, they're big and whatever, but in esports, you know, sometimes you go to regions where the crowd aren't always getting super lit at everything, and these guys are the opposite of that. They are just happy, and they're also applauding when their teams lose for the winning team. Like, I think it's just a great show of support.
There's been good sportsmanship.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is something that I actually really noticed definitely at Antwerp at the last major, that really people there, like, there was the Roaring Bears crowd, there was the Golden Hornets crowd.
Yes.
These are like these fan bases for Big and for Vitality, respectively. And even when their teams weren't even in the arena, they were still cheering. And I think that's something that's really beautiful about where CSGO is today, that people are fans of the game. People like seeing great Counter-Strike being played. And that's making this game ascend to a point now where it's rivaling sport in terms of the way that people are able to just appreciate what's in front of them, as opposed to actually, there's an incredibly devout fan base here, but they don't need it to be a Brazilian team up there right now. They're showing that everybody is fair game. Everybody is worthy of applause if they deliver them a great product in a great match.
I think what we see at most tournaments is most events with a crowd will have a Brazilian contingent. But that's normally 50 people, and they're as loud there as the rest of the crowd. And what we've got here is finally everybody can come. Everybody has the opportunity. Everyone's here. It's not just, you know, back-end staff for the teams, which is what I guess is the main contingent at these other tournaments. And they're absolutely bonkers. As Paolo was saying, I think 9Z were losing 9-0 or something, or 8-0 at that first game. And you'd think they just won the major finals out of noise that was going out.
Let's remember as well, with 9Z, it's just one single Brazilian on that team.
Yeah.
But the crowd adopt the rest of them as if they are hometown heroes, and everyone's going insane. And yeah, the noise for 0-0 Nation, of course, there, I'm sure Taco, Coldzera, just legends here. Not necessarily Fallen level, but those are two players with such storied histories, and they were part of that Fallen dynasty, so to speak. The roof was being blown off the place, and at the same time, they lost 16-3.
Yeah.
And in fact, actually, you know what? Okay, we've set the scene now. We've given some context about what it's like to be here. Can we, I know it's not the games that we were covering, but I don't know, man. Those are really tough losses. I thought I'd see at least more out of 0-0 Nation. I did think Bad News Eagles probably had the edge there, but 16-3, I am a bit disappointed by that. You'd love to think that Coldzera comes into his first game at the first ever South American Brazilian major and finds that old form, but not yet. Not yet, apparently.
Well, Bad News Eagles is a team that is just so good at CT side that actually, in some ways, you just kind of have to weather the storm playing against them. I'm a little bit surprised 0-0 Nation weren't able to feed off of the energy a little bit more, and Bad News Eagles it just felt like they were completely in their element of what I caught of that one. But then it just gets a little bit worrying, because even though we expect that the Brazilian crowd is still going to be in full force when any game is going on, there's obviously a bias. Like, it'd be disingenuous to say that there isn't. So hopefully they can just keep that energy up if it's like a, you know, Navi FaZe Grand Finals or whatever it is.
Obviously, it's still absolutely early days here. We're still yet to really get into the meat of the tournament. But I do wonder if for some of these Brazilian players, I'm not saying it's all of them, but for a few selects, the pressure of the scale of this event, of course, this is easily the biggest event in South America, and of course the first major in Brazil. I do wonder if for a few of the guys, they're just getting lost in the moment, and it's not like a normal tournament where they're used to being away from home. They play their boot camps. They're in their own kind of isolated zone. This is very different, a very different vibe to a lot of the ones they play in NA or EU.
I mean, one player that everybody's looking at for 0-0 Nation to play well is Dumao. This guy's supposed to be the star for this roster, and he's the worst rated player in the entire event right now. I think he only just got a handful of kills or a couple kills in their matchup earlier. So that's the difference. That's like we say that it should maybe give him a boost, give it getting all this crowd but behind them, but it's actually, like you're saying, I mean, it actually can make you a little bit nervous because like you're letting a whole nation down if you're failing.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about it earlier today when we were talking about things generally, is that you'd think the logic would dictate that you are the hometown hero, you're going to have the fan support, and that's going to drive you to the next level. But it absolutely can be a double-edged sword, and perhaps we are seeing the other side of it, where it hamstrings you and the other Brazilians slightly. But hopefully, hopefully we get to see some more out of these teams with Brazilian players, or Brazilian teams in general. Of course, later today, we've got Vitality versus Imperial. I have my fingers crossed that we're not working at that point. Maybe our match has already started and we can like go out there, because I want to see what it's like when that Imperial roster steps on that
We're definitely going to be working, Paolo, because we've already got a massive break here.
Oh, and would you look at this? Would you look at this?
A special guest.
Surprise guest here. We've got Banks. What's up, Banks?
Hello, boys. I'm doing good. How you all doing?
Yeah, we're just trying to provide some entertainment, keep the show going whilst we have our tech mice in the back figuring out everything. What have you been up to?
I've been doing all the interviews, talking to some of the players in the background, looking at everything coming off the A stream. We've been having a lot of fun. You guys been able to catch up with them games? You've been focused on the B, though?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a big break, so we were able to see the whole B and E 0-0 Nation game.
It was very quick, right?
Yeah, it was pretty fast. I'm sure you're pretty happy about that.
I definitely was happy. I can't say I wasn't happy when it came to that one, but I will say that Cold Zero was very unhappy. He was saying there was not a lot of initiative being taken.
Right.
He was completely unhappy with just how the team was approaching the game. He wanted them to try to take some more space. They said they had a good read on what B&E was going to do. They thought they could bully that Vertigo, but it didn't come through.
Did he tell you anything about Dumao? Because we're propping him up to be one of the big stars for this team, and yet he's now currently the worst rated player of the entire event.
Well, I said to him, like, okay, you can give him maybe a bit of a break. You know, these younger guns. We spoke to Taco in the interview, in a pre-match interview, about, okay, coming onto this big stage, do they feel the pressure? Taco obviously confidently said, no, we're feeling fine. Sure. Everyone's in good spirits. They said about having like extra coaching staff, and they had a month with now the psychologist to help them get ready for it. Sadly, that still wasn't enough to make it happen. But also, you got to think, we've been talking about a crowd buff for how long now? This crowd buff so far is not working for the sides that are coming from South America, right? Yeah. Because it seems to be motivating the other teams. You look at what Gamer Legion were able to do. That was ridiculous.
It's not looking pretty right now for the South American teams, but I think everybody's holding their breath for Furia. I want to put them out there as the team that I think most of the reasonable analysts, anybody that doesn't believe in fairy tales, thinks that they really do have a shot to make it at least to the Legend stage, if not the playoffs.
Guys, by the way, I have some good news for all of you and our audience at home. We are now ready to get back into OG versus Grayhound, our second best of one here in our Swiss system at the IEM Rio Major on the B stream. Thanks so much for your patience. Always fun to do these segments, but what are we here for? The Counter-Strike. Let's get straight back into the action.
Long have we waited, but folks, we're back. Thank you for sitting around and waiting for this one. We pray that Dexter is all okay and that we can continue in this game. An instant tactical timeout, but don't be dismayed. Grayhound haven't even been talking for the last 20 minutes. And we'd like to give a special shout out to all you Aussies, all you New Zealanders listening in right now. We know it's getting late over there. We know it's past midnight. We appreciate you staying up for this one, especially Ben the Legend and Savage. Sad you couldn't be here, but we'll catch you in the next one, I'm sure. 4-1. That's where we are. We just had the first round. I say just out of Grayhound. It was Vex site with a double entry into the B site with a Tech 9.
Bloody hell, right. So that's what happened. Thank you for reminding me. Oh yeah, you know, I think as far as it goes, as far as delays goes, that was a pretty lengthy one, but we got it out of the way.
Yeah, don't worry. This tech isn't a problem. It will just be coming undone. They're just fixing one thing, and Dexter hasn't crashed so far, which is already a good sign. There's been some great banter in the text chat in this game so far, and he's crashed.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, don't worry, everyone.
I'm gonna cry.
I was so happy.
Hey, bring Parler back to the desk. Where'd he go?
Right,
get him back.
Those other guys
get him back.
They're even joking about it in the chat. They're saying he's had 190 new PCs.
Yeah, this is actually crazy as well because this isn't like this isn't new. They've tried new PCs, new monitors, new cables, new everything. So this is actually kind of crazy.
It's just like I don't know. He's just.
Do we see if they can 4v5 him? Do you think OG would win?
Has Dexter been cursed prior to this event?
This is so
even
sad.
Even Backside saying he's cursed.
This is so sad. I mean, you know, this is the highest rated player of Spirit, the top 4 team at the last major, in a new roster, and they were already rip-roaring at the beginning of this game. Flames was firing off, Harry. He was at 9-1 in the first 4 rounds. I'm really sad that this is all kind of slowed down. People have lost their juice. Everyone's been sitting there in silence. I say we undo the silence rule. I think people should be able to chat at this point. This is kind of getting crazy, but he has timed out. That's not a joke. I'm very sad. And this is only our second game of the day, Harry. I just want to cast. That's what we're here for. Players are here to play. You're here to watch. But sadly, I can't even give you an ETA. I simply don't know. Go for a run, boys. Come back in 20.
Now there's more of a voice for women, and it paints a better future.
It's making a huge difference, and we're seeing it every single event.
There's so many girls getting involved, and it's showing proof that it is working.
I've been playing Counter-Strike for 20 years. This is something I never would have imagined would happen. 20 years. Yeah. We waited for this.
Finds one. He's going to be hunted down, but Anna is there to reply back. 2 kills for Anna, and she's spotted both the players, and she's looking for more. Anna has been unleashed.
Anna takes down one. Too many back up. There's too many players. Sana comes back. Oh, that's a 1 versus 1 round. That is a nice move. I don't think Amy knows that she's going to be going down, spinning around for it. 1 versus 3. Enigma Galaxy, they are just a step above Furia.
It's our dream. It's our dream.
The kings of Counter-Strike, juggernauts, and an unstoppable force. That's how you could describe Astralis' blazing hot form in the latter half of 2019. There was almost nothing they weren't able to win. However, the semifinal in Cologne against Team Vitality just wasn't one of those days. But they didn't bow out without a fight. After being demolished on the first map, the Danes showed their true colors on Inferno, and after an intense battle managed to bring the game into overtime. Now was the time for heroes to rise, and Device was the one to heed the call.
They do have a three-man stack on this side. Device, who's had a really rough game, flashed, he's going to get that shot, and it has to feel a little bit going out middle of the air. Oh, you've got to be kidding me! He takes every single one from nothing to the AWPAs.
Tell me now why you want to wait. Running out of words you wanna say. I've been looking for you, looking for you, looking for you. Take me down, leave me lost and found.
build some momentum moving forward.
Good shot. That was so fast.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Oh, peace.
All the way down, but tie game early is, yeah. Tie game early is massive because we knew, look, we saw 9Z struggle into it. We saw Double O Nation. He hit the ground. He hit the ground, Jason. But they struggled to get into it, and look, they were the underdogs in this situation. Now Furia, if they get off to a slow start, I think they're the favorites in the game against Big right now, so that would be hugely devastating for IEM Rio and the crowd, so they needed to tie this up early and get back into it. Searson's looking for a gap in the smoke to look towards scaffolding. He's not going to find that yet.
He was also looking for that floor Molotov as well, so look for some kind of maybe a late round attack from Big towards middle to kind of take advantage of that Molotov if they choose to go back from it. That might just be nothing, but the fact that he was lining it up makes me think it's a possibility at some point. And his op should be mostly in support, sending the Tech 9, the Deagle, the AK-47 forward. He covers the angles at range. And nobody wants to peek into the op, so they're trusting in the fact that that knowledge is going to prevent Furia from peeking and gaining information.
Sin looking for a way into the round, is controlling the swing in middle. Molly is fully engulfed, as you can hear, but doubling up, in fact, tripling up the position over toward the scaffold. They don't go for the boost. Art missed it on the jump, and I think that they know the timing is off, so Yuri's going to go aggressive instead. Head still down, peeks out, sees Kiddo, but has to be careful because, boy, careful with the nade as well. He's got to get a gun back in his hands to get a kill. He does. Yuri successfully and smartly backs away. Didn't even take any damage in that. Good shot by Crimbo. He'll fall immediately after, though. Drop's going to find two, and here's the AWP. Now they know where it is, and they've already done some damage onto Searson, who may just want to back off of this one. Yeah. 14 seconds. It's going to be the lead to Furia, 3-2.
The third player there was brutal. Oh, Serrato's got it boxed in. They could go for this. Now they've got the money. 5 seconds. Searson gets one. How much more do they want to chase after? And he's going to take the escape route. Deploys the emergency shoot, and he gets the op in his hands for the next round. 3-2, Furia take a lead.
Absolutely.
The first lead of a Brazilian on this stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Today.
Yeah, the first South American on this stage. If you want to include 9Z, obviously I knew you were, but just to make sure that there's no doubt about it. But yes, absolutely, they are taking the lead in this, and didn't quite get the AWP. Searson was wise to what was going on, but they have the money in their favor, and that op, again, will only be accompanying Deagles in this situation. Safe again wants the opening pick, not quite to the same ledge this time, trying to change his angles, and no success. That gives Searson a bit of a posting to watch towards scaffold. Very wallable position, and there's a very slight gap in the graphics settings. You can actually see through that, and that's exactly what he fired at. Remember, the red text, the enemy text, often helps in that situation as well.
Watch for safe, though, taking up deep peek. And Big's going to back away, trying to give Searson some time to find them an opening kill, but they don't want to challenge an A-ramp anymore. So didn't get anything they liked, didn't get any advantage off of it. Back over towards B stairs, where Serrato is alone, but he's being aggressive over the board. So he'll see presence, he'll take a fight with one as he drops off and falls back. And speaking of which, Drop is going to be here as well in support.
Shot out, Serrato for one. Needs to get away and around the corner sooner, but his teammates there to support it, and they aren't going to challenge because a good defensive Molotov was thrown out. So Serrato gets the support from Drop. And the Molotov in return is going to go, oh, okay, Drop. He's going to back right into it. I was just going to go behind him, but he wants to reposition either way. They're going to go back toward middle and potentially the ramp. The only player over here currently is safe.
Yeah, but again, deep angle, early warning system as well. Flicks up, very narrow gap, low percentage shot, but he's got the information, can readjust, Drop defensive utility, and now Yuri's here with the M4 to provide support, keep some space, and the op is accurate. Safe, only gets one before taps and drops him, but really no danger yet for Furia.
I was going to say, tough spot for Yuri to be in, trying to find that headshot in return, and he manages it. Tapson's not going to know there's two there, so Serrato will put the op down this time. Everyone has fallen on the big side, and it's a 2-round lead for Furia.
Yeah, that round had no plan for Big. That was kind of shuffling between the bomb sites, shuffling between A ramp and B stairs, and seeing what you could get, seeing if you can find a kill, if Searson could pick anyone off with the AWP, and no dice, baby. 4-2. think Big is going to take the opportunity to call a timeout, talk things over.
Art's enjoying his time. They've been waiting for this. As we said, this is the major that was delayed 2 years due to the pandemic. And although Furia had made their presence known before that, they're in a better position now, I would say. So they need to relish this opportunity to play in front of their home crowd for the first time ever on an international scale. Last time we as an English broadcast team was in Brazil was way back to 2018 in Belo Horizonte.
Yeah. Way back. In the concrete dome.
Absolutely, the Thunderdome. So loud inside of there. As I remember Henry and I, we basically made an agreement, no questions, nothing that I have to respond to, and likewise,
yeah.
We just, you finish talking, I will talk. We could not hear each other. It was incredible. Challenging, but incredible. Challenging situation for Sears. Never going to spot that boost coming up from Yuri. And finally, we've seen that boost attempted a lot today, but finally going to get a kill from it.
Yeah, and again, I mean, they might not expect this aggression from Art either. That's been his charm as a player, unexpected aggression, and all Furia wants every fight. What a transfer from Drop. 5-2, and Furia's got this crowd on their feet early.
Doesn't matter if they're wearing Furia jerseys, Imperial 9Z, they're all cheering for the Brazilians right now. Great start with the boost that gave them the information. Art slides out, and then the slaughter in the sight from Draw. Yeah, the Belo Horizonte event as well. That was when MIBR had 2 Americans on the team with Derek and Stewie.
I know, the good old days we call
back.
That. That's a way back time machine. Ooh, safe. Oh, he might have to be careful. Second shot, there's a timing there, but Art's gonna put an end to it. Taps and goes down. A little bit of utility. Defense,
he's late.
He held onto it way too long.
Mr. Aggressive gets aggressed upon. Kiddo catches Art out. As Safe will do the same, though, in return. I don't know that he's aware that there's a second player this close. Oh, Sin! Easy shot because he was anticipating more aggression. Wanted to go to the AK, did Safe, but little did he know he was anything but as the Deagle was off to the right side. Yuri holding his nerve, gets the assist for Drop, who's played very well from the boxes. 2 rounds in a row, and it's now 6-2.
There was some trickiness in that round, though. Furia's got to be careful. A couple miscues there, almost was able to punish him. 4-round lead.
The torch is out.
Yeah, this right here, that's a bit too much from Safe. Don't drop the weapon, you don't know it's safe. Don't take those liberties, don't make those assumptions in a game, in a stage like this.
Still looking. Art's bypassed that AWP though, and he can't find who to flick at first. He'll go down to 19 HP, having already lost Sin in the round. They'll back off and try their luck elsewhere.
You know, it already feels to me like Big's in a lot of trouble in this half, because whenever Fury have chosen to be aggressive at these stairs with Art, Drop, K-Serrato, whoever it's been, they've had success. They've neutralized some of the attack. They've been able to find a fight, find a kill, and fall away into the bomb site. Similar over towards the A bomb site. There's been a solid defense at A ramp as well. So Big, it feels like, running out of some options here as Furious defense is holding strong.
Comms need to be so clear in these situations as well. You can't have a microphone open, bleeding noise through it. You've got to be concise and not to distract your teammates, but also make sure that with some of the sound cues being muffled in these situations with the crowd, you've got to be dead on. And again, we talked about that experience. Arts, oh, he's faked that he's gone away. This could be huge. No one-way gap in it, but he still has the position. Sees the first, doesn't bother waiting to see if Trigger to spin will play off. K-Serrato's got the double. 7-2 for Furia.
That hit had no chance, but I think Big felt like there was no other option in a 3 versus 5. If you wait out that smoke, they know exactly what's happening. They know exactly where you are. Taking the risk and getting absolutely shut down, and you're exactly right. The fake from Art probably gave them a little bit more sense of security than they should have had. 7-2, and another timeout for Big.
We said the other 2 teams, 0-0 Nation, 9Z, not what they would have wanted to start it off for Furia. This is perfect. Feel the crowd early, get used to the environment, get the adrenaline going, and build on this throughout. Whether they win or lose this game, they need to figure out exactly what the stage is going to present to them in their home country.
It's got to be a weird feeling. Not only at the event in Brazil, which is significant and special in its own right, but also being the top Brazilian team in a tournament that has Coldzera, Taco, Fallen, and Fur, and FNX.
Yeah, don't discount FNX. Man had a 100% record at the first few majors he attended.
Sad to see that one broken.
Yeah, that was a great record.
That was a good meme. Dead now.
Better to have him back, though, you know? Can't force him into retirement too early.
So just pistols. Pistols, armor, a little bit of utility for Big. They're going to try and attack into this B bomb site. Much more passive defense, a little bit more space for them to work with. Safe has eyes on middle with the AWP, which means Drop can dedicate himself to support the B bomb site defense.
Hey, Serrato. It's gonna wait this one out. Easy headshot. Boosted pistols can do nothing of that. They're gonna try a second boost on the offside. But the smoke's down, there's no chance of seeing it. Serrato knows they're trying to flame him out of this position, so he goes aggressive instead. And Drop converging for a number of kills, 3 in fact, as Drop will find his second, and Yuri comes in and joins the equation, 8-2.
Absolutely decimated. Brilliant defense, and that should be a signal. Those B stairs are closed. There's no access to them. If you're Big, you have to go elsewhere. They've had struggles at A-ramp as well. We haven't seen them challenge mid a whole lot, and basically at all. I think the first gun round, they sent one body there, got taken down by a stack, but they might want to reinvestigate that idea, that concept, and that part of the map. It was 2-0 for Big, 8 straight for Furia now.
And it'll be hard to break this crowd if you're Big. We've not seen this crowd have something to cheer for in terms of being in the lead. Serrato preemptive strike as he was flashed off, wanted to fall on the angle, but decided to pull the trigger first. Luckily does so and finds Sin. Ito gets one back though, Art once more. It's not completely open on the Scaff side. No, Yuri able to just slide out and makes no mistake on the kill and the trade in return.
Yeah, but Searson feels like there's some space there to be taken. He comes up a little bit late with the AWP. Yuri and Drop gonna get re-aggressive towards the top of the ramp. Krimbo beneath the smoke behind the sandbags. Tapson watching the flank, and Searson aggressive around scaffolding.
Shot out, success. Drop finding his 9th kill on his A side. He'll go down, but not without a vengeance and revenge dealt by Yuri. Searson did get him behind him, though. You're absolutely right. He found that space, and now he has a chance to try and tear Yuri apart as well, but such a tough situation for him to be in, and I don't know that Yuri's fully aware of this.
It's all timing. He's just kind of got to guess when that's going to come in. 2 different angles he's got to worry about, but he nails it. Nails it, shuts him down. 3 kills for Yuri in the round. He's up to 11.
Chad again on the big side, trying to compose them. Tapson getting involved in it. So 9 straight now for Furia. That was probably the closest one in a while. A-ramp again, and unfortunately pistols again. Yuri behind the bags. Kiddo's already up though, he's ahead of this play. So that could catch them off entirely, because if they think there's still aggression toward the corner of the ramp, if Yuri hasn't called this or figured this out, he might be able to sneak in and just walk toward the site. Especially if that aggression's pulled. Yuri's sliding out, trying to use this smoke. He wants to get information back in return. He'll get the first kill. And now he knows there's a chance they have snuck into the low parts of short, but safe. Meanwhile, back over on the other side of the equation is cutting off mid, and it's Art that's going to close out the round entirely by dropping out Kiddo.
It's a very calm and composed Furia team at the moment. No gaps in the defense. Supportive rotations are at perfect timings. And everyone's delivering individually. Good shooting from Safe. He's been solid with the AWP. Hasn't had to do a whole lot, but playing very well, very accurate. And an 8-round lead now. once the guns have come out, this has been no contest.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was only the pistol round that Big got anything going from. Just holding back behind the I-beam is Art. And time to perfection. He'll find the first, change his angle as well because the utility deployed. Now a Molotov and allows Yuri to go in to try and get aggressive, but Tapson finds him. And now Searson with a response, a chance for Big to finally do something with a round as they've got a man advantage.
Support flash could come in though. Look at Drop rotating over. Oh, he needs to win that fight. It's not gonna happen. Not through scaffolding.
Didn't trace the kill fast enough, and Grimbo makes no mistake with the AK.
And this is some over-aggression from Furia. They wanted an aggressive setup. They wanted to pounce and trap that attack, and it's backfired. This is the best opportunity Big has had in a long time, but Drop is gonna start pulling it back.
Sin stays too long. Drop knew exactly where he was. He heard the shots fired at his backside, decided to re-peek it. Free kill in response, and now he'll check off scaffolding. Now that does give the front of the site up. 2 smokes, make it 3, excuse me, to work with for Big. Off angle, taps and tag, 10 HP. All of them are low. Quesarado has a chance in this, but he's against it all with the smokes down. A nade will do damage on the first, no question. Bounces back, okay, it still gets it. Crimbo falls, it was on the wrong side of the box, but the damage went through. He's got Tapson as well, and now the 25 HP of Searson becomes a factor. Quesarado has a kit, 12 kills, and only 1 to find with ample opportunity and time to do so.
Smoke and Molotov.
Gonna wait it out slightly. He knows Searson's on the op, but a missed shot might do it all if he doesn't drop down the ledge fast enough, because that op is gonna have such a hard task. Smoke plumes, he's not able to get to it in time. Searson nails it, and it's 10-3. Big finally back on the board.
That's a smart but risky play from Searson. He puts out the Molotov at sandbags to say, hey, this is where I'm hiding. I have to put this Molotov out, but he throws it from the side. If Quesarado had caught that, if he had seen the angle, the trajectory of that smoke, that could have given him everything he needed, but you can see he's swinging out too wide because he did. He fell for it. He believed he was sandbags. Huge clutch from Searson. And when you think about it, Searson had the quad kill in the pistol round. Searson has actually delivered all 3 rounds on the board for Big.
Absolutely right. 10 kills as well. He's holding his own with a positive KD, the only one on the team to do so. 7 for Kiddo and 7 for Tapson. Slight chip damage onto Searson. The lineup. Art got in position. He knows there's more. He's only on the A1S. He's going to go back for the reload, but the AWP can come out and do the rest. Oh, man, they go low. But the aggression pays off. Throw everything at them. 11-13.
Oh my lord, Art could have had like 3 of them in that lineup. What a narrow missed opportunity for a huge spray down, but what a good execution of the aggression down a ramp. Furia has just taken the fight to Big every step of the way. What a beautiful round to call, a beautiful piece of aggression out of a loss. Art and Safe combined for 4. Actually, maybe even 5, excuse me. Quesarado's gonna have an opening kill. And remember, I mentioned it earlier, those B stairs have been closed. That has not been an option for Big throughout this entire half.
Good shot out, Art again. The Art attack is back. He wants more from Kiddo. He'll find that and the bomb. For good measure, just 2 pistols left on the map to locate, and it's a boost up for Crimbo. He knows Heaven's already clear. Drops pushed back, sees that, and now he knows there's 2 there, so immediately goes for the transfer. Searson gets the kill, but far from the round. 22 HP. This is going to be a 12-3 score at half.
Boom. Yuri gets the final one. That's a devastating opening half if you're Big, but if you're Furia, finally you got the crown on their feet. They've been waiting all day for a solid performance from one of their teams. They've got one here on Vertigo. We're off to halftime. We'll be right back for the conclusion of Vertigo.
Can you believe it? It's happening. We're ready. Everyone's here. It's happening. Hugo, OG versus Grayhound gaming. We've been waiting, right? We got 5 rounds in. Hugo, we got 5 rounds in.
What's the map again?
And then we hit some odd tech issues. Been resolved. Dexter's in the server. So here we are. The time is counting down, and they're off. We're in. Let's go, baby.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. And OG on the other side. Dexter's here and hopefully going nowhere, but straight into the fray. God, this is weird. Harry, we're casting again, but I'm happy to be back.
So what happened in the last round, Hugo?
Vexite got a double entry on a Tech 9 into that B site. He locked in a round for OG. We disappeared for 90 minutes. We're back, baby. And Dexter hasn't crashed yet, so it's a good sign. Thank you to our admins on the side who did try everything for the crazy people who didn't realize how much work has been going on behind the scene. Like 10 PC swaps. Everything you could even imagine. But I think we're solved. Grayhound on this T side. Who's warm, right? Have people been... No one's left the server. No one's been DMing. No one's been on aimbots. Everyone is a little cold, a little uncaffeinated. But we're back in, and you got to make do. Even odds, 4-1. Grayhound working middle, in no hurry. They've waited over an hour just to get back in. Orb shot fired after that flashbang. Alistair, second orb of the game so far. Inns is holding that flank in case Banana push comes in. OG are relatively passive. Dexter has the angle towards Car, but really it's going to be this A hit. That's what it's all about.
Here they go, moving up into the top and middle. Easy does it. Wrapping the long side now. OG, very, very tucked here, right? Pretty reactive. Not a lot to spot this or grab info. Neo frag, though, from down in the pits. Good for a double. Woo! Why not make it a third? And now Flames back of the site. If he could just do a tiny bit more here, just slow them down.
That's huge.
And with the bomb out in no man's land, Diaz, try as he might, doesn't have time to win this round.
Dexter
so the hold is enough.
Dexter could have crashed there. He'd still win the round. That impossible, and that kill from Flames, that last kill from Flames, 3 in the round, absolutely saves the day. If he goes down there immediately, they can grab that bomb on long, they can plant, but the bomb wrapping the long side lets them down. A nice try for Grayhound. They even got an AWP pick through pit from Alistair onto Nexa. Very nice shooting, but not enough to win this one. Still, close round for Grayhound, waking back up. But a lot more to do. Pistols out around these AKs. One of them saved, one of them bought. Vexite's got to go right through that one. Dives over the smoke into a bit of cover. Flash to the top of car, but OG have the same plan in mind. Off the back of Dexter's shot, a flash will appear and Neofrag will reaggress. That's the game plan here for OG.
Dexter don't often miss these, even if he's had to take a bit of time, you know, cooling off.
Beautiful.
He's still keen to get warmed up, get involved. Neofrag here helping him. And they've completely reclaimed the top of Banana. That's going to send Grayhound packing. Really, all you're left with here is this A play.
Diaz has got some room. Oh, but he gets spotted on that jump up. Not even a kill available off that. Just an inkling of a player there. Ooh, take the Flames tagged up. Feature here to help, and the rifles will rid the round of Grayhound as OG finds 6-1 with a clean anti-eco to keep everyone up. Build that money early on the CT side of Inferno, funding that Dexter AWP for later if he is to lose it. I don't know how he hasn't lost it, Harry. I'd be going mad right now. Full mold, full tilt. But the goal's still in mind. OG's first major attendance. And they want to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, you know, and when you've kind of been waiting as long as OG have, and even for someone like Dexter, he's keen to, you know, have a repeat of last major, show us he's still got what it takes. I don't think you're going to let one little tech problem get in the way. I think if anything, it's going to fire you up now. You really want to get involved. He's hit the ground running to open up this round with 2. And why stop there? Even going back in for a smoke shot. That's eventually one too many, and he'll decide to write off the peaks for now. Still, it's a 5v2 out of the gate. Grayhound have been churned up in this one. Just Liaz and Sicko.
Yeah. That's a great sight for Dexter. We were wondering, we were worrying maybe, but he just throws himself down middle and picks up a double kill. That's locked Grayhound out. They've got no real estate, Harry, not even Banana. It's too terrifying to trifle with. Liaz working apartments, even in the woes of Grayhound when they have had trouble on EU soil. Liaz has been that player we can rely on, that consistency. Without a doubt, the most experienced on this team. Played in multiple regions. Lived in 3. So, sadly not going to be enough for this round. It's looking like a save for the Aussies. OG, another flawless one as well. 5 alive back-to-back. They are building quite a wealth right now. At least the AWP is going to get dragged forward for Alistair. But he went for that mid pick and Dexter was ready for it. Need something new.
And I mean, having a round go like that is just going to suck, you know, like you didn't even really get to set up. And, you know, you might have had ideas there, you might have had thoughts as to what you wanted to try and accomplish. And Dexter kind of threw it all through a loop, didn't he, with the aggro in towards top middle. Even Neofrag finding success over towards that B side of the map. This is a very good start for OG. And it feels like it's only going to get better here. These saved guns, sure, going to allow an investment to materialize around them. Still going to have that AWP thanks to Sicko saving it. That can maybe look to find its way over to Alistair. Even then, gets a bit awkward. Alistair's got 3,650, which is like a very annoying amount of money to have. $50 short of the AK and armor means he's not got head armor here behind that AWP. Going to soften him up, although thankfully OG have kind of racked up so many rounds. Most of them have AKs as is, so we don't really have to worry about it.
Every cloud, eh? Won't be saying that when you're getting one tap down mid, though. Very strong start for OG, and yeah, okay, it hurts for Grayhound. It especially hurts for, you know, everyone sitting around who's waited up all night to watch this game. But on the flip side, watching OG perform well is you know, a glorious sight, because this is a team that really should have been at the last 2 majors and made it to neither. It was absolutely the shot. Oh, nice shot. Inns takes down Neofrag at top Banana, going for a fight. Can't blame him with how many openers OG have already won. They've still got 2 strong down at the Banana, plus the AWP. Smoke's ready for Molotovs. Anticipation for Grayhound, but the util will miss. The flashback in for a fight. Nothing seen, and there's the shot. Dexter finds it. Vexite waiting in the middle, and Dexter still hits him, takes him out of the round. Flames on an off angle, very hard to clear, not the place you're looking, and Sicko will fall as well. 4 on 2, and it's crumbling.
He has Alistair, the last 2 left in this one, up through the short side. The AWP scoped in, and that's a free beetle. He has struck as well. And so suddenly a route's been opened into this round. A 2v4 turned 2v2 in the blink of an eye. OG have got to come in for this retake. Dexter all the way down through Banana. Fiku with him as well. Looking to get set up over in the apartments. They're going to try and crunch this one. Little 2-pronged approach through apartments out to the balcony and out through the long side.
Yeah, the long side, that's a strange rotation, but they just want a crossfire. It's going to take even longer for Dexter to get set up right now, and Alistair should just have his shot if someone comes out, but he's gone! And Dexter hits Liaz in the head coming out from the long side. Beautiful shooting for OG in an instant. That setup looked good, but the AWP posted on short, and the apartments is the last thing they're expecting. However, it took so long for OG to get set up in the retake. I'm surprised Grayhound didn't expect any of those angles. An uncomfortable post plant considering how good it looked for a moment. They broke their way in with some nice entries, but OG still stand tall.
Almost poetic as well, you know, just like in your MM games, when someone drops out and then reconnects, they go and do performances like this. They do what Dexter's doing. Don't make sense, does it? Funny that, right? Vexite. Now, he's been lights out since coming back, dude. So involved for someone who was, you know, the kind of the front and center of all the tech issues, you know, to open up. It would have been easy to imagine that he was going to like slow down, feel a bit frustrated, but no, it looks like he's just trying to make up for lost time here.
Yeah, speed running. We're getting behind the A stream, better catch up. Fury are trouncing big right now. Vexite back at Banana. And this is the other thing, you know, see Vexite, oh, that's, you can see that one coming, couldn't you? It's rough, but solo Banana on the T side is not the spot you want to be in. Smoke spam, nades, mollies, you got it all. It's destroying Vexite. Very hard role to, you know, put yourself in up against a real contender in the challenger stage. Bomb gonna have to go get picked up by Alistair. And even now, OG A1 still playing pretty reserved. They've given up Banana. They're playing back in the bomb site. 2-2, reliant on their anchor players to hold the line, to thin the herd. Flames is going to try and do so. Shears at the ready. Going to go down, though. Alistair on the rifle gets that entry, and now it's all on Dexter with the AK. What a spot.
Up close to the smoke. If he can win this first fight, duck into the apartments, maybe there's a route for success in this one. However, the play's kind of slowed down. They're grouping over towards short. Dexter's dropped this smoke and now looks to fight for this. That's the bomb tumbling away. Out in the open, Dexter's putting on a show. The man in pit doing it all. Oh, in with 3. Dexter lights them up. Grayhound's been put down as it tries to come up the short side, and it's just Sicko left. Running out of time, running out of chances. He's found his way to a bomb plant just about, but now getting run down. It's a very, very quick close to that one.
OG are making up for lost time indeed, Harry. These are some excellent rounds coming out from the boys. Dexter is destroying. What a triple kill in the pit as the solo anchor, and that was Grayhound's way into a post plant at least last round. They managed to break their way through, not today. I love that drop down as well into the one-way in pit. Great protocol for Dexter. And Grayhound just can't convert, man. They're getting a lot of chances, a lot of close positions, even man up sometimes, but OG. Star power out the wazoo. Dexter does him dirty. Oh, that nade. Oh, it's juicy. Doubled up. Maybe a third in there as well. Inz is going to get sprayed through the wall. And there was no problem there for OG to shut down a quick B play. Grayhound mauled. 2 on 5. Smoke spam might be their only way back in. But no hope as Neofrag gives it up yet again. OG not pushing the issue too far. On the short side, new angle, same result. Nexa finds Alistair and Sicko. No chance either. Another 5 alive round. This is a beating. You got to feel for Grayhound.
Oh, yeah, I mean, dude, this is just wild. It's like
the worst part is as well. Like, okay, you can make this case for both teams, of course, but especially for Grayhound because they're losing. It's like you probably had all the prep coming into this game. You had all the motivation. You were warmed up. You were ready to go, and then this happens, right? This massive break. It sucks any hope out of you. OG, far more experienced team, been in, you know, not this position, but probably far more so than Grayhound ever has. And not to make excuses, of course, both teams had to sit on the back seat, but it hurts especially more when you're 10-1 down.
Yeah, I think what you were really hoping for was that, like, you know, if you're Grayhound, you were kind of hoping Dexter came in, like, feeling deflated, like, you know, maybe lacking, like, some confidence, like, you know, a little frustrated or in his head. Nah, none of that. He's, like, taking it personally, as though Grayhound were the ones who caused the tech problem. He's, like, taking it out on them, 10-1 up, and he's been such a huge part of all of it. Then, in a lot of these rounds, like, you know, where we don't have Grayhound leaning towards this A site early on, they're moving into this, like, gnarly triple B setup that OG are running. It's so restrictive. You don't really feel safe going anywhere, but you've just heard that AWP fire out over towards B, and that might feel like a saving grace. You know there's probably that early triple B lean, and so Grayhound might look to live up to their namesake and bound pretty quickly into this A bomb site.
Bro, he dropped his AWP back in spawn to take the AK-47. He's even changed weapon for this one to hold on to the A site. He liked his moldy kill the other round. He's going to give it another go. Nice jump for Sicko. Liaz, almost avoids the spray, but Nexa recovers with a double. Drops back in. Crossfire available. Player on the site. There's some Tech-9 taps at least, but Alistair can't make it far. And it's going to be another one for OG. 11-1. Even that trade-off for the AWP. Money is no question now for OG with all these 5 live rounds. Multiple players over 10K before the buy. And it might be a goodbye to Grayhound in this opening game if they can't wake up pronto. Nice recovery from Nexa. Almost went very badly, but gets out with a double kill before it's all said and done. Dexter, this will make up for the little break you had. You got to be feeling fantastic right now. 13-4, another AWP off. He's holding at the top of B, a wider angle this time. Gonna need a very good flash, but even then we know these timing shots can connect.
Are we nervous for ins? Yeah. We should be. Dexter strikes first, and he's on the receiving end of it. Nice equalizer for Vexite, who decides he's had enough of waiting around. He's at least found a 4v4 and taken away this control over at top. Banana, he'll take that. That kind of lowers the maneuverability of this AWP on Dexter now, right? Suddenly he's feeling a bit more pressure to lean towards B to stay here, and him going back is actually a fair gamble, right? You're kind of now leaning heavy into this 3A setup. He's going to try and play the speedway for a slightly faster rotation here.
It's because Long's been open the whole time. OG set back into a double pit setup, so the call was made. You saw he immediately started getting paranoid about a chance of a lurker up long. There was a long smoke, so what if Grayhound walked through it? That has now been cleared. Dexter went all the way to check for this eventuality, and it's not happened. Now he knows a B play is almost imminent. Flames can even fast flank off of short. Grayhound are making it clear they've got to go.
All right, missed shot on the opener. Smoke now in his way, so Viku's got to do it all from the back of the site. Dexter plays through the smoke, takes one out of the ranks, and keeps the advantage in favor of OG. AWP just harassing these two players trying to make it through the site, and here's Flames on that wraparound you mentioned, Hugo. Yeah. Oh, and Dexter to close. It's so clean. Oh, might have been planted, but never stood a chance in the post-plant. They've been melted.
That's felt like every round, right? Every round Grayhound have gotten a plant. It's been like, oh, we've just planted before the trappers close. Like, we're off the bomb, and we're immediately dead. They don't get a chance to pick post-plants. They don't get the respect of a 3v3 where the smokes are down and they can suddenly, set up crossfires. They haven't had that chance. Every time the bomb is down, they're immediately jumped on. OG know what's going on in every single round. There's just no mistake. There's no question.
I do like, that kind of imagery as well. It's right as the trap closes. The last thing that Moth remembered was finally getting to the big light. And then,
big light. What's in there?
Right, 12-1. Grayhound, they need solutions. They need a hero. They've got neither right now.
Question is, I guess, can you teach an old dog new tricks? Or is this more of a Marley and me situation? Another execute, this time an early one. Smokes go over the long side. Flames can drop a little nade, and these HEs have been instrumental for OG. Lots of damage off them in some of these rounds already gone by, especially a Banana. Bunch of util still left in spawn and towards B as well, but Grayhound have tried enough BXX. They want nothing to do with it. Fiku jumping. AWP not in the round at all. Dexter back with a rifle on the A site. Bomb is still Banana side, but Vexite has to be very careful crossing back. Smoke will cut off Flames. He can go in front of it if he wants to be a mad lad. But instead he'll just go for info. That's a nice jump. Good bit of information. Grayhound come around the corner. He gets tagged. It goes both ways, but he now knows Grayhound are moving in for what seems like an A split. They've already started flanking Harry. They don't even know for sure, but Grayhound, the box, again, is closing.
All right, you got to try and move faster than it. The trap. Okay. Oh, it's been sprung. Dexter up on balcony, having to do it alone. Is overwhelmed this time around. And Neofrag's only good for the first. Fiku on this wrap round's got to do it. Dells with the first man. But now with Sicko and Vexite left to overcome, he's going to go quiet. And in this little bit of silence, they go swinging. That was so nearly the lineup. Yeah. But thankfully, they keep it clean. They finally deliver the goods, and they come up with a second round.
My, oh my. Begging for 3 by the end of the half. That is the hope here for Grayhound. They finally smashed their way into A. And yeah, okay, no question. OG again knew exactly what was going on, but some nice trade work going out on A. And then, even though that swing at the end is risky, they don't want to sit back and both be stuck in the bomb site and get cleared. They don't know where that last player is coming from. He could reroute Apps Long. So they just try and take the fight together, and it works wonderfully. Grayhound hold onto something. But still, to say even the bare minimum would be too much of a compliment. Without 3, they're toast. And even with it, they're still charred. Another AWP for Dexter. Don't think Alistair has the money, so just a Galil for him. Plenty of flashes left in spawn for a retake, but as we've
I think
seen...
Flames is pushing, yeah, bro. He had a great spawn. I could see it on the map. He was so keen, and Dexter's going with him. Dexter didn't even have a spawn here, and they will get punished for that. Finally biting off more than they can chew. Nex is throwing his name in the ring. He's like, screw it, everyone else got to push. I'm going to give it a go.
Wow.
And Liaz knocked out. Now Nex is going to go back and fill the hole inside of this A bomb site, because there's a big one.
Yeah, Siko's bypassed it. He is backtracked. He's gone all the way around. Nexus doesn't know how far he's gone. Lovely tap. He's stopped out in the open, though. They're going to fight him for the site. Fiku will win it. They still get control of A in the meantime. Doesn't catch anyone on that cross-through library. Smoke instead to cut them off. Bomb can be planted at the back. Can they set up in the pit in time, or will these CTs just go running through? Be as oppressive as they have in every post-part. This is a different one. This is a chance. 4-3 at the end of the half.
Resmoke at Moto is big. I mean, at this point, OG kind of have to go through that. They kind of have to go through that. And this is going to help out massively for Grayhound, man. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Here he is through the Molly. Neo frag, brought down, and it's 3 at the end of this first half for Grayhound. Is that going to be enough? We'll find out in a minute.
This world is slowing down. How can I fight it? How can I listen when there's no sound? Oh, the wolves are out. Yes, the wolves are out. Hold on to what you found. Days are deceiving. My head is spinning round. Oh, I hear now. Yes, the wolves are out. Inside of our reality. Satellites singing serenade. Send our signal, please
OG are gangsters, all right, but the question is, do Grayhound have the dog in them? We're about to find out. Second half of Inferno, the BO1 opener for both these teams, a debut major for OG as an organization, and for Grayhound looking for their first win ever of a BO1 in a major. Doesn't look like it's going to be this game, but hey, comeback's got to start somewhere, and that somewhere is a pistol round. I'm here with Harry. Take it away.
Yeah, Sicko got the dualies. I want to see what they can accomplish here. Oh, it looked like OG were going to go B, but actually they've had a bit of a change of heart here. A fast A play, and a real fast A play at that. Here they are, already exploding out in a top mid. There's a long smoke down. Is this going to be a wrap and a B? No, no. Looks like they want to keep moving.
Going through that.
And move through the long smoke. Alistair tucked in at the graveyard. First man found. It's a clean shot into the apartments. Alistair gets involved, and Liaz taps out 2 more. It's just Dexter left. There's the first. Wrapped up through the short side there, right behind him. On for the ace if he wants to win this. Ooh, swinging out, and there's Sicko's dualies to put a stop to it. Grayhound find the pistol, keep their heads above water. The doggy paddles out in full swing.
I actually really like that pistol for OG. It's shut down by Alistair, who hit some banging shots, but the 3-layered attack is awesome. They wait in the long smoke. Fiku's in apps. He throws a flash from apps high over the moto smoke, and then they jump through. It's Dexter late on short, who actually trades out Alistair, and he was on for something incredible, but Grayhound fortunately shut it down, and now we might have a game on our hands after all. Really nice idea, though. Somewhat reliant on Grayhound playing that triple B setup. God, that was a dink. Still, Vexite holds strong at the top of B. And only pistols. Dexter's gone in a little harder than most with the Deeg armor. The man can afford to. But can he do anything with it? No. In shuts it out, and Grayhound now on the road to a 5th. If he grabs that deagle, they know what's up. They'll allow it. But still not much to do in this round for OG. They're going to try and bleed it.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of turned into one of these rounds where you just go, okay, let's start talking about the next now. Let's keep it really slow and just, you know, get out all that utility, because even forcing like a full util rebuy on the majority of players is a nice bit of money to take out of your opponent's pocket. Sicko, quick to make it all back with this MP9 push down through Banana. Vexite joins him, and so we get that conversion. The landing stuck by Grayhound. They find a 5th. Now this is where the going gets tough. Now this is the true test of your metal.
Especially when you're running a bonus round here, right? You've got SMG. Sure, they certainly have their viability. They have their differences. They can be annoying, but you know, if you lose a bomb site, good luck retaking with these weapons. And yeah, you're gonna be limited in the range as well. So up against AKs, yeah, if Grayhound don't run something that's super aggressive and try and take Banana or push down middle, they've got to play, you know, crossfire, something quite tight in the site. Can't be taking these long-range engagements. Hoping for Liaz to step up big in this round if Grayhound were ever going to have a chance. Flashes over the top. OG are not waiting around.
Yeah, real fast on the approach. Liaz trying to hold on along. Dexter, all right, he's even ready for this fast push through Banana. Out through Library, Inz a bit of a surprise, and Alistair's actually dealt with Dexter. Suddenly Neofrag trying to do what he can. It's a really nice triple kill, but he still has that much more left to do. Sicko has dealt with Fiku, and now it's the 1v1. Neofrag concealed behind the smoke for now, taking it wide, and in with 4, finds 13 for OG.
What a save, man. What a huge save. We saw that benefit of those SMGs jumping through smokes, running it up into the face of OG, who slowed down on the long side, akin to the pistol round, but then saved by Neofrag. This is a guy who we talked about a lot coming into this game, being a high potential fragger, being a big name, making a name for himself in Sinners initially after some great Pro League performances at the end of last year. What a pickup for OG, and what a save to shut down that bonus round. Suck the momentum out of Grayhound before it even builds. Sure, they have the money, but it's one chance, Harry. It's one rifle round. Honestly, if Grayhound lose this round, it's as close as GG that you're going to get. Flashes up Banana. Next on a Mac 10 with Fiku can lead this charge to a degree. But right now at the back of the pack, Rifle's got to wait for these roamers to get up front. Off angle for Vexite, but Mac-10's run at you here, you're going to get traded. He is so committed to this position, he cannot bail unless the spacing for OG is bad. And so far, it has been anything but. He's finally going to give it up, play a safer position. Smoke available to put on that Molotov to buy a few more seconds. But OG are going through.
Yeah, straight through the molly. Not deterred by it. Vexite having to drop down is boxed into a corner. You do have this rotate around, but Dexter's ready to meet them. Vexite cannot quite hold on. Traded after a second in the round. Neofrag taking position. Over towards the coffins. Alistair scoped up on it. Tagged by the molly, they know he's moving in, they know he's here, and Neofrag is clean once again in this post plant, looking to be that guy, sending Grayhound packing. It's just Liaz left, and Neofrag will do him dirty. Another 4K, that's back-to-back rounds, 8 out of 10 in the last 2 for Neofrag, and OG up onto 14.
What an absolute monster, and you have so much firepower. This is something that, you know, people were talking about on the desk. Alan was saying on the desk coming into this game, you know, like when you have these, they're inconsistent, but when you have these players showing up in a big way, it is incredible. It is, you know, so hard to break through. Dexter was going lights out on CT side with his aggressive AWP. Flames started this game rip-roaring, and now you've got Neofrag just finding multi-kills on entries round after round. How are you supposed to stop this behemoth that is OG? 14-5, and we said that was as good as GG. This is why the money is dripped dry for Grayhound. Back to the races. OG in first place.
Yeah, and this was kind of the grim reality, right? Exactly as you say, and now you're in like double force buy territory, and that's what you're hinging on. You know, you're really hoping that this buy of, you know, mishmash pistols can get the job done. For OG, they're eyeing up a dominant opener here, one that would set a bit of a precedent maybe, you know, not even breaking a sweat as far as they're concerned. In Banana, this sort of skirmish goes back and forth, but in the end, OG look pretty from it. Alistair getting out with one, pushing through the smoke. There was a while where that could have got weird with the bomb drop at T-Ramp. However, you're never that worried when Dexter waits around the corner.
If you're Grayhound, you already think about that next game, right? You're writing this one off. When you lose a matchup like this, you're not thinking, oh, what could we have done better? Like, you know, some of it, you can at least attribute it mentally to that huge breakdown, that huge timeout. And for OG, they're just happy that it didn't cost them. It was going to cost someone. And they've really played their hearts out in this game. 15-5. What a great display of individuals for OG. Haven't even had to, you know, reach too deep into the strat book. It's been simple. Yet to see anything fail on this T side since the big guns have come through. And that's thanks to Neofrag, who once again is trying to open up this Banana area. Solo B, Sicko alone. Got a gamble in a spot like this for Grayhound. Bomb's going to make his way up Banana, and again, you're looking at a retake here with no kit.
He's got the extra smoke, which is nice. You know, he can delay this B play that much longer. He's got teammates starting to move over now as well. So you are going to have like a bit of a B lean.
Psych.
But right as we're saying that's a, you know, maybe a good move. OG have kind of changed their tune on this one, right? Lobbing in that B till, making a bit of noise, but now falling back towards this A side of the map. Alistair makes his way over, takes up position in Library, so he is at least in the right place at the right time. However, you know, this Famous, best weapon in the round, gonna have to do something.
They've lost the info. He threw an info flash. No one fired. No one got blinded. So now they've given up long entirely. They don't know how deep OG have gotten.
Flames leading the charge. Oh, the Famous is going to open up. There's the trade for Nexa. How many more are over at long? You just don't have the info. And Court looking the wrong way. Now Inns with his deagle, backed into a corner, doing all he can to hold on to this side of the map. Dead after one. Dexter strikes the remaining 2 from the tally, and OG have done it. And a convincing win to open up their run at IEM Rio.